Well, that's what Bob and Roger are doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Getting warmth into their tyres. In fact, everyone else following suit now. So they're obviously getting on the radio that they are likely to be racing at the end of this lap.
Yes, but Mark, the pace car, the safety car, has still got its lights on.
It won't put those off until after Arnage corner.
And I'm looking at the cars going through now, and I think I can see the Jaguar. There it is, 140. You probably just saw a flash of it. That's the car I wanted to point out to you, because it's the ex-Brian Redman car. It ran extremely well at Daytona, and it also ran at Miami. And Brian, of course, was one of the masters of them all. I've never forgotten watching him race here. I think it was for the last time with the Aston Martin, when he just played to the crowd, getting it horribly sideways, but my goodness me, it was spectacular.
And Brian Redman, of course, his long-time sports car driving partner, particularly in Chevron days, Peter Gethin, we've very sadly lost.
Very sad, but
since last year, amongst another drivers, Carroll Shelby, Roy Salvadori, Les Leston, all Le Mans heroes.
All at the same time, Le Mans. And of course, the first two I knew extremely well, and they were old friends of mine, Roy particularly, and it is a sad loss.
Yeah. So here we are, we're just coming out of Mulsanne corner now, past the old signalling pits. That was a long time ago, wasn't it, Chris?
Oh yes, just on the left there they used to have the pits, but of course these days a lot of the signalling is done on the radio to the cars. They have very good radios, and they have good communications with the pits.
Yeah, and amongst those who used to signal on those pits is Clive Watts, Danny Watts' father. Danny's on the P2 pole for the main race this weekend, and Clive and his other son Ben, they've come to cheer on Danny. They're all from Thornborough, my village, and Clive used to spend his nights signalling for Jaguar there from those pits with boards.
This is always history at Le Mans. It's all history.
It's a huge family, Le Mans, and once you're in sports car racing, you're locked into a family forever. For most of us, as we mentioned earlier, Neville, Le Mans is the second home to us.
It's one of those things that every year you think, well, perhaps, and then you come here and you think, oh, I can't stay away. Once bitten, that's it. You have to keep coming back.
I think all of our better halves would subscribe to that one, wouldn't they?
My wife certainly would subscribe to that, because she gets really wicked with me about it. But I don't know. It comes round, January, February, and I start muttering about Le Mans, and there we go again.
Well, hardly been home. Then we Jubilee weekend, and then test weekend. We've got this weekend, and safety car lights, as Chris is just pointing out, have just gone off. That is good news. They've got a long run there, still back to the start-finish line, and the clock is only showing 12 minutes, 50 seconds left.
You think he means it this time?
Yeah, they'll have a go at getting about 3 laps in. So let's sit back and enjoy that when the time comes.
There's that beautiful Lancia just getting out of Bob Burridge's spray, and just seeing what's going. Is he going to have a go, do you think, Chris? He's going to get...
Oh, yes. And Kent Abrahamson, who was coming up before the accident, he's getting ready there as well. In that Nissan.
So what this Viscander we're looking at right now, the 21 car here, this car of Paul Stubber, he's from Australia, the car's from Australia. Did it ever race outside Australia?
No, it never raced outside Australia. It was built for the Australian Sports Car Championship, and it raced in Australia. It never came outside Australia.
Did we see it at Sandown Park? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think we did.
We had two Group C races there, didn't we?
Yes, and but it's got a big Australian American V8 in it, and it's a very effective motor car.
An Aussie American V8, I like that. God, you upset a lot of Australians saying that. All those Holden and Ford fans. Howard Marsden, of course, who used to run the Nissans for Nissan Europe, he went to head Ford Australia's motorsport program. Very sadly, we lost him a few years ago as well, but Howard's still fondly remembered by many people.
Lovely man. When he was working for Nissan, I dealt with him quite a lot in the European Touring Car Championship, but he was fun.
Very nice man. I shall probably get a naughty email from my daughter-in-law, who's an Australian. She'll have something to say about that. Well, Hi, Sue.
Sue and Tim and their son Jensen, Chris's new grandson, had to be Jensen, didn't it? They should be watching at this moment in Singapore. So
pace cars have just pulled off.
Come on, Neville, talk us through it.
So we've got them lining up now, and providing everybody gets safely round that last little bit of the Ford chicanes before they bury their foot in it. You can see that they're all going into it now. We've got the first 3-4 cars coming out. Here comes the Lancia. as the flag is waved and off they go. He's on the inside, not necessarily because he wants to be, but just because there's no spray there. And quite a gap before we get the next two cars, which has got the Nissan now up to third place, just like that. No messing at all.
And as you said earlier, there are no fuel rules now, but Roger Willis in the number 2 car has got a turbocharged car, so he can crank the turbo up. Bob Berridge in the Mercedes is a normally aspirated engine, so he can't.
Russell Kamnick, another Australian in the race, giving a hard time already in that Iseki car to not Roger Wills, to the Gareth Evans car right in front of him, the Nissan of Kent Abrahamson, who's had this car 3 or 4 years now, hasn't he? And he's done a really good job with it. But Bob Berridge, very, very difficult man to pass.
Yes, well, I think Kent Abrahamson probably has got a bit of a misfire or something, because he wouldn't normally let them go past like that. Maybe the rain's got in a bit.
That's a tricky place as well.
I'm amused by the Porsche getting itself in the middle of those. No problem at all.
Yes.
Well, he's probably got less of an embarrassment to power than the other two cars, as you say. Through Tetra Rouge, then down the hill. And look at the spray now. It's getting dreadful.
Yes.
Yeah, this reminds me of the touring car race that we saw from another place in UK. I went to go back and you couldn't see anything for spray.
Yeah, I've just noticed the 140 Jaguar has just dropped way down the order. That's Don Miles on board that Jaguar XJR5. He suddenly dropped about 8 places, so maybe he's had a spin.
He's probably spun it somewhere.
Yeah. So here we go.
Well,
so Kent Abrahamson is out of the picture now. These two with the Japanese Porsche really giving the Mercedes a hard time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kent's completely out of it. He hasn't even appeared, has he, through the first chicane? So where has
Kent had rather a nasty accident in practice, and when he went over the curbs a bit too far, took quite a hunk out of the bottom of the car. So maybe that accident's come back to
bite him. Yes. Yeah, a couple of fires as well during practice. That was interesting.
Yes, the Steve Tandy Nissan had an electrical fire, and one of the Spices caught fire actually in the paddock, and there was the pompier had to be sent for, and there were flames. And
can you imagine having to dial 162? Yeah. We had a fire at the circuit. Can you send a fire engine from the centre of Le Mans, please? Anyway, it's a great racing all down for the field. Look at this, the 60 car here. This is Rickenbacker in the Cheetah, isn't it? That's one of the Chuck Gramiger cars.
Yes, it's a later Cheetah with a 3.5 litre engine, when the Group C rules changed from the fuel consumption rules to the 3.5 litre rules.
Yeah, people talk about Peter Sauber as being the most successful Swiss constructor, but Chuck Gramiger was actually there long before him.
I was going to say, he was sort of producing cars as we watched that Jägermeister Porsche, and that
a bit slow, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the Iseki cars.
10 seconds, so we're also slowing down there on the... Yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, we got... Oh, that's a bit tricky. There's Richard Eyre.
He's got himself onto the grass out of the way.
Yeah, but that Nissan is definitely running on fail-safe. I think it's...
Yes. And going back to Chuck Gramiger, his cars were always very neat and extremely well put together. Nice cars.
Remember the first time we saw the Group C one was at Spa, wasn't it?
Yes, that had an Aston Martin engine. But I'm afraid it was not a very happy marriage, those two. But
like anything in motorsport, things come and go. So these two cars, we think, probably ailing now a little bit. They've lost. Maybe it's just that.
I think it's that the weather is sort of the change in the surface, the change where the rain is and where the rain isn't, where the spray isn't, is making a lot of difference.
Round an arch corner then this is now the long blast, isn't it, up through towards the Porsche curves, and all these drivers will be so tippy-toe there. We've had a lot of accidents in qualifying for the main race of 24 hours at Porsche curves this year, and they'll be very well aware of that, Chris.
Yes, the little Cheetah still harrying Kent Abrahamson in the very powerful Nissan.